So off I went with a trumpety trump, 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 trump. Nelly the elephant. No, let's pat that in. So off I went to the UK, and the journey was quite frightening. It wasn't terrible, it was quite frightening because there was 4 inches of ice on the road for 6 hours from Varna to Sofia. It was a very cold journey. It wasn't cold on the bus, but waiting at the airport. But you've seen all the video of that travelling. I got to the UK, my mum picked me up, took me back to her house, and for about 2 weeks I stayed with my mum. And my father is incredibly sick, and while I was there we found that on top of the illnesses that he's had over the years, mainly the arthritis, 2 kinds of arthritis, and so he was so poorly that he's bedridden, and he went for a full body scan in that big donut machine, and we found that he has advanced lung cancer. So, you know, if he was to giggle, it hurts him. Sometimes he catches his breath, and the pain, you can see the pain going through his body. At one point, a doctor came to visit late at night, and said that he'd also had pneumonia on top again. So the advanced lung cancer plus the pneumonia. Now he's been going through this for a few years now, and so the doctor told me, pulled me to one side and said, I give him 2 days to live unless he goes to the hospital. But at that point he'd given up. He wanted to just stay at home, live out his days at home on the tablets, knowing that it's the same pain that he's gone through for years. But anyway, we insisted that he went to the hospital. Off he went, and 2 days later the pneumonia had gone again, but he's likely to get the pneumonia again and again. So my father's still alive, still very poorly, but it was nice to be able to tell him the things that I needed to tell him, like a good son should. But unfortunately I'm not that good of a son, because I just didn't have the opportunity to go and visit him. Once I moved out and started work, the work just totally took over my life. So work, I got a job, but this was via my mother and father's best friend, who is also the same age. He has a son who is a manager at a haulage company, and he offered me a job through an agency, so I joined up with the agency, and it was to be a pallet truck driver. So you know when before goods go to the store, let's say Walmart for example, they're on a pallet, a big pallet, and that pallet can weigh anything from 100 pounds to a ton. So with this truck, I stand on top, it's got guardrails and a big handlebars, and they're so heavy to move, these trucks. So moving forwards and backwards, moving like this, and constantly, it's like exercise. It's like exercise for 11 hours, because you get 1 hour in total. I was working 12 hours a day. The haulage company was fantastic to work there. The guys that I worked with you couldn't ask for a better set of guys to work with. Everybody's on the ball, everybody's got something funny to say, even the non-funny people. The Polish people were funny, but the close knit of friends or colleagues that I were working with was spot on, absolutely fantastic. I did, however, tell maybe 2 of these guys that I'm a YouTuber, and I told them what my YouTube name was, and one of them took the time out to look at some videos. Oh, because I've got an itchy nose. So he came in the following day. I totally forgot about it. I told him this, and he came in and he started saying Manchester, na na na, Manchester, na na na, over and over. And I said, look, what are you talking about? And then he explained that he'd watched a couple of the videos and it clicked, but he'd actually watched quite a few of the videos. That guy was absolutely, I nearly said flipping, but I nearly swore there, he's absolutely fantastic guy to work with. He made the experience of working there worthwhile. The job was very well paid. The managers were all very nice people. They, as they say in England, they called a spade a spade. So if someone's done something wrong, they tell you. They don't muck about. But also 10 minutes later, you know, they're your boss again. You know, without hindrance. They just carried on. So I worked there right up till a week before coming back. I had to change my times of leaving because of some things that I had to sort out while I was there. What else? I got the opportunity to visit a couple of members of the family. I stayed over with a couple of members of the family, and I also got to see my best friend and his wife and his child and my other best friends who were always at that house together during the day waiting for the kids to come home from school. So we had a fabulous time. I was working nights, 12-hour shifts. And so by the time I got home in the morning, you know, I was shattered. For the first month I was working 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts, which I was able to do. It wasn't a problem, but it was tiring. It's just I wasn't a family man. Although my wife came over because my dad was poorly. She stayed for 3 weeks, and it was nice for her to be there for me. Also, it was very nice for my father and mother to also have her come and visit and say what she needed to say. So that part was all absolutely fantastic. Being in England is a great experience, but it's not so good when you're away from your wife. You know, although you're with your family, you can't beat it, can you? So I earned enough money to be able to pay for the things that I need to pay for, and I'm going to have to go back in mid-July. Well, my birthday is the 15th of July, and I might go back just after that. So I'll need to book a ticket very soon. But while I'm here, I've got some things I must do. So you'll be seeing the new house again. You remember the one that I had the flood in? So I'll be going back doing that and sorting the house out, and I've got a few document things to sort out.